The wrong door, Sophia Chen clutched her leather portfolio against her chest as she stepped out of the elevator on the 40th floor of Sterling Tower. The rain had soaked through her jacket during the rush from her car, and her dark hair stuck to her forehead in damp tendrils. At 29, she had learned that desperation made people do foolish things. And right now, she was desperate enough to chase any lead. The anonymous email had arrived that morning, requesting her portfolio for a potential residential design project. The address led to one of Chicago's most exclusive buildings, but the apartment number seemed wrong. Sophia had spent the last 3 years rebuilding her interior design business after her previous firm collapsed, taking most of her clients with it. Every potential job mattered. She knocked on the door marked 4012 but received no answer. Trying the handle, she was surprised to find it unlocked. Perhaps the client was expecting her and had left it open. Sophia stepped inside, calling out softly, "Hello, Mr. Sterling? I'm Sophia Chen from Zenith Designs." A penthouse was breathtaking. Floor-to-ceiling windows offered a panoramic view of the city skyline, while the interior featured clean lines and expensive materials that spoke of serious wealth. Abstract art hung on white walls, and furniture that probably cost more than her monthly rent filled the spacious rooms. Sophia moved deeper into the apartment, looking for signs of occupancy. She heard the sound of running water and followed it down a hallway lined with black and white photography. The bathroom door stood slightly ajar, steam escaping from within. She was about to call out again when the shower shut off. Sophia froze, realizing she had made a terrible mistake. She turned to leave quickly, but her portfolio slipped from her nervous grasp, paper scattering across the marble floor. As she scrambled to collect her work, the bathroom door opened wider. "Sophia." The voice was deep, certain, and completely unexpected. Sophia looked up from her hands and knees to find a man standing in the doorway, a towel wrapped around his waist. He was tall and lean, with dark hair still damp from the shower and striking blue eyes that seemed to look right through her. But what stopped her breathing wasn't his obvious attractiveness or the awkwardness of the situation. It was the fact that he had spoken her name like a recognition, not a question. "How do you know my name?" she whispered, still crouched on the floor, surrounded by scattered design samples. Marcus Sterling, for this had to be him, stepped closer, seemingly unconcerned about his state of undress or the stranger in his home. Water droplets still clung to his shoulders, and Sophia found herself noticing details she shouldn't. The lean muscle of his torso, the confident way he moved, the intensity of his gaze. "I've been waiting for you," he said simply, as if that explained everything. Sophia's mind raced through possibilities. Had they met before? Was this some elaborate setup? But she was certain she would remember this man. "I think there's been a mistake," she managed, finally standing. "I received an email about a design consultation, but clearly I'm in the wrong place." Marcus smiled, and the expression transformed his face from intimidating to magnetic. "You're in exactly the right place, Sophia Chen. The question is whether you're ready for what comes next." "Possible recognition, you're handling this better than I expected," Marcus said. Now dressed in dark jeans and a fitted shirt that emphasized his athletic build, he moved through his kitchen with fluid grace, preparing coffee as if beautiful strangers broke into his home every day. Sophia sat on his leather sofa, still trying to process what had happened. Most people would call the police when they find someone in their apartment. Most people aren't me. Marcus handed her a steaming mug. "I've been following your work for months, Sophia. Your restoration of the Hartley Mansion, your adaptive reuse project in Lincoln Park. You see spaces differently than other designers. That doesn't explain how you knew I was coming here." Marcus was quiet for a long moment, studying her face. "What I'm about to tell you will sound impossible, but I need you to listen with an open mind." Before Sophia could respond, the elevator chimed. A woman emerged, who made Sophia's breath catch. Tall and ethereal with an otherworldly beauty, she moved with the same fluid grace as Marcus, but her skin held a subtle purple luminescence that seemed to shift in the light. "Marcus." "The council grows impatient," the woman said, her voice carrying musical undertones. Then she noticed Sophia. "She's finally here." "Sophia, meet Zara," Marcus said calmly. "My advisor and liaison from the Andromeda Collective." Sophia set down her coffee with shaking hands. Liaison from where? Zara smiled, revealing teeth that gleamed like pearls. I'm what you would call an extraterrestrial, but we prefer interdimensional beings. Marcus is half human, half Andromedon. His enhanced perception allows him to identify humans with specific genetic markers. Genetic markers for what? Marcus leaned forward, his blue eyes intense. For compatibility with our technology. For the ability to bridge our worlds through design and architecture. You have a neural pattern that occurs in less than 1% of humans, Sophia. You can visualize spaces in ways that could help us create integration centers. Integration centers. Sophia felt like she was drowning in impossibility. Spaces where humans and Andromedans can coexist, Zara explained. We've been preparing for open contact. Our species require different atmospheric conditions, different spatial relationships. We need someone who can design environments that serve both. Sophia stood abruptly. This is insane. You're talking about aliens and genetic markers and… She gestured helplessly. I came here for a design job, not a science fiction movie. Marcus rose too, stepping closer. The design job is real. We're offering you the commission of a lifetime, Sophia. The chance to create something that's never existed before. Despite her rational mind screaming warnings, Sophia felt drawn to the challenge. Her entire career had been about creating spaces that brought people together. What if she could do that on an intergalactic scale? If I say yes, what exactly am I agreeing to? To work with us, Marcus said softly. To trust us. To let us show you possibilities you never imagined. The way he looked at her made something flutter in her chest. This wasn't just about work anymore. Hidden connections. The Andromedan facility existed beneath Chicago, accessible through hidden passages in Marcus's building. As they descended in a crystalline elevator that defied physics, Sophia's world expanded beyond recognition. The integration project has been planned for decades, Marcus explained. His hand warm against her lower back as he guided her through corridors that pulsed with bioluminescent energy. My parents met during the initial contact protocols. My father was the lead negotiator for Earth's governments. Governments know about this? Select committees. The public isn't ready for full disclosure. But preparation has been ongoing for years. They entered a vast chamber where purple-skinned beings worked, alongside humans on architectural models that seemed to shift and change as Sophia watched. The designs combined human functionality with Andromedan aesthetics in ways that made her designer's heart race. These spaces are beautiful, she breathed, moving closer to examine a model that resembled a flowing organic structure. How do you achieve that luminescent effect in the walls? Andromedan bioarchitecture. Zara appeared beside her. Living buildings that respond to the emotional states of their occupants. Your design sensibilities could help us adapt this technology for human psychological needs. Marcus watched Sophia's face as she studied the models, fascination replacing fear. You see it, don't you? The potential. I see revolution, Sophia whispered. Architecture that's not just functional, but empathetic. Spaces that actually care for the people inside them. She turned to him. But why me specifically? There are more experienced designers? Because you design with your heart, Marcus said, moving closer. Your spaces tell stories. They create emotional connections. That's what we need for successful integration. The air between them felt charged with more than just alien technology. Sophia found herself studying Marcus's face, seeing past his human appearance to something deeper. The alien heritage showed in subtle ways the unusual intensity of his gaze, the way he moved with predatory grace. The sense that he was constantly aware of things she couldn't perceive. What happens to my life if I do this? She asked. It changes completely, he admitted. There's no going back to normal once you've seen this world. And if I say no? Marcus's expression grew pained. Then we find another way. But I hope you won't. His voice dropped to something intimate. Working with you these past few hours? Seeing how you understand what we're trying to create? It's like finding someone who speaks the same language. Sophia felt heat rise in her cheeks. The attraction between them had been building since she'd first seen him in that towel. But now, it carried deeper implications. This isn't just about work anymore, is it? No, he said simply. It's not. Zara cleared her throat delicately. Perhaps we should show her the living quarters. She'll need to understand the full scope of what she's considering. As they moved deeper into the facility, Sophia realized she wasn't just choosing between jobs. She was choosing between worlds, between the safety of the known and the terrifying beauty of the impossible. And increasingly, she was choosing between loneliness and whatever Marcus Sterling represented, dangerous desires, that evening. Marcus showed Sophia to guest quarters in his penthouse, a space that seamlessly blended human comfort with Andromedan technology. Walls that adjusted their transparency based on her mood, furniture that molded itself to her body, air that carried subtle scents designed to promote relaxation. It's like living inside a poem, she murmured. Running her fingers along a wall that responded with gentle waves of light, Marcus stood in the doorway, his alien heritage more visible in the room's responsive illumination. Most humans find it overwhelming at first, find it incredible. Sophia turned to face him, suddenly aware they were alone. Marcus, what you've shown me today, ... It's everything I've ever dreamed of as a designer. Spaces that truly serve their occupants, and what I haven't shown you yet. Heat flickered in his eyes. The careful distance he'd maintained all day was cracking, revealing something hungry underneath. What haven't you shown me? She asked, her voice barely above a whisper. Instead of answering, Marcus stepped into the room, letting the door seal behind him. Sophia, I need you to understand something. Andromedans bond differently than humans. More intensely, when we connect with someone, ... it's permanent, it's consuming. He moved closer, his alien awareness making him hyper-attuned to her elevated pulse, her quickened breathing. I've been fighting this attraction since the moment you walked into my home. Sophia felt her own control slipping. Maybe you should stop fighting. When he kissed her, it was nothing like the careful control he'd shown all day. His lips moved against hers with desperate hunger, alien senses allowing him to know exactly how she responded. Sophia melted into him, her hands fisting in his shirt as he backed her against the responsive wall. Tell me to stop, he breathed against her neck, his mouth finding sensitive spots that made her gasp. But don't you dare stop. What followed was unlike anything Sophia had ever experienced. Marcus's enhanced abilities made him incredibly attentive, reading her body's responses with alien precision while the room itself seemed to amplify every sensation. When he finally claimed her completely, she understood why Andromedans called it bonding. She felt connected to him, on levels that transcended physical intimacy. Later, as they lay entwined on furniture that had reshaped itself around their bodies, Marcus traced patterns on her bare shoulder. There's something else you need to know, he said quietly. Not everyone supports integration. There are factions on both sides who want the project to fail. Sophia lifted her head to look at him. What kind of factions? Humans who see us as invaders. Andromedans who believe your species isn't ready for our technology. They've been sabotaging preparation sites, targeting key personnel. Fear crept into her post-intimacy haze. Am I in danger? Marcus's arms tightened around her. I won't let anything happen to you. But you need to understand the risks before you fully commit. Sophia studied his alien eyes, seeing concern and something deeper, possessiveness that should have frightened her, but instead made her feel protected. I'm already committed, she said, surprising herself with the certainty in her voice. To the project. To you, his smile was radiant. Even knowing what it means? Especially knowing what it means. Two Worlds Unite the Attack came 3 days later. Sophia was working on integration chamber designs when explosions rocked the underground facility. Through the chaos of alarms and emergency lighting, she saw armed figures in tactical gear storming the main corridor. Human supremacists, Zara explained tersely as she led Sophia toward emergency exits. They've discovered our location. Marcus appeared from a side passage, his alien abilities making him deadly efficient against the intruders. Sophia, we need to evacuate. They're targeting the design labs. My work, Sophia started. It's backed up in quantum storage, he assured her, taking her hand. You're more important than any designs. They fought their way to the surface, where more chaos waited. News vans surrounded Sterling Tower as federal agents established a perimeter. The secret was out. Alien contact could no longer be hidden. What happens now? Sophia asked as they reached Marcus's penthouse. Now we accelerate everything, Zara said, monitoring communications on her Andromedan device. The Council has approved emergency integration protocols. We have 72 hours to establish the first centers before full disclosure occurs. Sophia felt excitement surge through her exhaustion. 72 hours to change the world. Can you do it? Marcus asked, his alien eyes intense with hope and something deeper. Sophia looked at the man who had turned her life upside down, who had shown her possibilities beyond imagination, who had claimed her heart with alien intensity. Around them, the city sparkled with lights from two worlds about to become one. We can do it, she corrected, standing on her toes to kiss him. Together, the next 72 hours blurred past in a frenzy of construction and design. Sophia worked with Andromedan bioarchitects to create spaces that sang with living light, that responded to human emotions while accommodating alien needs. Marcus coordinated with world governments while protecting her from media, tension, and extremist threats. When the first integration center opened in Chicago's Grant Park, thousands gathered to witness history. Humans and Andromedans moved through Sophia's designs together, the architecture itself facilitating understanding between species. You did it, Marcus whispered, pulling her close as they watched from his penthouse windows. We did it, Sophia corrected again, then smiled up at the alien man who had become her everything. Though I still can't believe you knew my name that first day. Marcus laughed, the sound rich with love and promise. I told you I'd been waiting for you. My whole life, across galaxies and generations, as fireworks celebrated the dawn of a new age. Sophia realized that sometimes the most beautiful designs were the ones that brought hearts together. Whether they beat with human blood or alien light. I love you, she said, the words feeling inadequate for the cosmic connection between them. I love you too, Marcus replied, his alien heritage making the promise deeper than human words could express. In this world and all the others we'll create together. The end.